Hey guys, Joel here, GreyWolf TV, back with our Fringe episodes. This is the second one for the week. We're on to episode 19. Now then, I'm not going to do too much of a recap from the last one. It was kind of a standalone episode, but the scientist that was involved in it in the last one had been working for Z.F.T. and he promised he would give Olivia as much information that he knew about if she went and saved his wife, who'd been dosed with that virus that turned her into that creature, whatever it was. So at the end of the episode, she listened to the tape that he made for her, because the guy did die, and she went to go and see Broyles at the end and said, "We have a name, and the name is William Bell." I did say I'm not sure how the hell she's going to handle this, because he's probably the most influential and powerful man on the planet. He also happens to be the richest man, so we'll have to see what goes with that. It could continue in this episode, it may not, I don't know. Let's find out.
For those of you just joining us, what you're looking at is the work of Z.F.T, a terrorist organization responsible for at least a half a dozen biological attacks over the last several months. Everything we know thus far can be found in your packets, including a copy of their manifesto, which elucidates their ideology and their methods. We've recently developed evidence which suggests Z.F.T is funded by an unlikely source, and a name I'm sure you've all heard of. William Bell, founder and chairman of Massive Dynamic.
Whoa!
Stop the bus!
Lady, you okay?
Yeah, 911.
This typewriter's bellies.
Do you understand what you're saying, Walter? The
Yeah.
Bell doesn't just fund ZFT. He wrote their manifesto and is actually responsible for everything that's been happening.
Well, from what Agent Francis described, it's possible we're dealing with a case of spontaneous human combustion.
That's what I said.
That was just a myth.
Myth is just an unverified fact.
All right, I'll get the coroner to prep the bodies for transport.
Bodies? Is there another somewhere?
Yes, Jim, I understand. Right away.
I had you pegged as a creature of habit. You changed your office.
Come again?
Your desk, you moved it. We'll canvass the area, see if we can ID her.
What about the other victim? Did the bus driver see her get on too?
I'm sorry, you mean one. There was
What
only
other
one
victim?
victim.
I'm confused.
Now there's two bodies again, what the hell's going on?
Agent Dunham?
We found a match on the victim. Her name is Susan Pratt.
She's made a mess of her bathroom.
What the hell happened to her?
A bit of a mess.
Pyrokinesis.
Stop. There's no time for jokes, Walter.
Pyrokinesis?
It's not even a real word. It was made up by Stephen King.
Mr. King coined the term, but the phenomenon existed long before that. Well, it's not that complicated, really. It's merely a form of telekinesis, the ability to move objects with the mind. As the molecules start to vibrate more quickly, they generate heat, energy, until that energy must be released.
Fascinating demonstration, Walter, but it still doesn't explain why it is that Susan Pratt blew up.
I suspect this was a newfound ability. But it takes training to generate a heat source outside of the body.
What the hell? Why is the city on fire?
Hey, man. You okay?
Is she
Did these episodes start? How did they feel?
First was Susan Pratt's body, then it was in Broyles' office, the other on the street. The same people, the same places, but bleak.
Well, you're familiar with the pliability of space-time, yes?
Of course, who isn't?
Well, let me explain.
What?
Most of us experience life as a linear progression, yes? Like this. life presents us with an array of choices. As a result, life should look more like this.
Every decision you make changes things.
Leads to a new path. We feel that we've been somewhere before because actually we have in another reality.
Cool.
There's another path. The road not taken.
We have one victim, Susan Pratt, but in my visions, there are always two bodies.
Who are they?
I don't know, unidentified. But maybe if I could get back to that parallel universe, as Walter describes, I can ID that second charred body. I mean, maybe what's happening there could help us understand what's happening here.
Harris, can you stop? You want me to submit for a psych exam?
I've read your briefs, and I'd say your analysis borders on the paranoid. Besides which, your behavior has been noted as erratic and driven by emotion, and not just by me.
No, I've tried to move past our history. I've tried to reason with you in the interest of a working relationship, but you seem to get off on this. So fine. I don't give a damn anymore. But I'm not going to let you undermine my ability to do my job.
Shoot the kill order out on the perps. You understand me? Don't get close to them.
Charlie.
What's up?
I was wondering where we were on the Susan Pratt case.
Where'd the scar come from?
Same place we were yesterday.
I'd like to look again.
You have half of Boston in quarantine lockdown. You worried about a pair of charred twins?
Twins?
Twins? Oh, hang on a minute. That's why there's two bodies. I'm still confused. Yeah, there's two of them.
Sorry,
and now there's one of them. What?
Now, what makes you think?
Look, you were right. Nancy Lewis. It says here that she had a twin sister who went missing 11 years ago.
He's already got to her.
Nancy?
Oh, yeah.
Dunham, take a look at this.
You think she's starting fires like her sister? What is it?
I got an idea. The project that I've been working on was for you.
For me?
It reconstructs audio. I wanted you to be able to digitize some of those old water damage vinyl records you have. You all know how a record player works, right? Except for instead of a needle, I use the electron microscope to take a high-resolution digital image of the grooves on the surface of the record. That image is then transferred into the computer, which translates it back into audio that we can hear.
You sound just like him.
Yeah, you do.
Let's try that again, shall we? Slow it down.
Now attenuate ambient noise.
See you there.
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
My cell phone app can dial the number from the tomes.
Fabulous. Who is he calling?
This is Harris.
He used a remote to get in.
I guess we'll go the old-fashioned way. Where are we?
No thermal activity yet. Her body temperature's normal. We'll know more soon.
Well, he's losing patience. We need her active. Get it done.
Nice shot.
Charlie, I've got her. Back northwest corner.
No!
Oh, damn it, Harris, open the door. Open the door!
Oh, crap, it's bulletproof.
We have an active, but she's a loss. She's highly unstable.
He said she's been activated.
They did something to you, maybe to both of us, a long time ago when we were just kids. And right now
Yeah.
you're feeling the effects from that. But you can control this, okay?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. There won't even be a trace.
Oh, yes. Redirect it. Can she do that? Yeah. Harris is all crispy.
It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
What did you do to me? Susan Pratt and Nancy Lewis are from Jacksonville, Florida.
Shit.
Just like Nick Lane. The guy that you conducted drug trials on when he was a kid. The drug trials that you conducted on me.
We meant no harm.
No harm. You were drugging children.
We were trying to prepare you. To make you capable. Something terrible is coming.
What?
I don't know.
Walter, what did you do to us?
Poor Walter.
You did.
No, I don't. Astrid, I found it. The original manuscript with the extra pages.
Oh, the chapter he said was missing.
Our children are our greatest resource. We must nurture them and protect them. We must prepare them so they can one day protect us. You see, I was...
Hello, Walter. It's time to go.
Come on now. We finally get a few small questions answered in that episode that we've needed for quite some time, and it throws another 100 questions at us. Oh my god, that was a really great episode. Absolutely crammed, packed full of information that half of it I am still trying to process, and the other half I don't understand at all at this point. So the girl in question in this episode was also, as Olivia stated there, experimented on by William Bell when she was a child in Jacksonville, Florida, which is where Olivia's from, and also where that other guy was from who could control emotions. Nick, somebody or other. So they were all part of the same drug trial. And Harris, thank God we've gotten rid of him, but still, I did not see that coming. I was not aware that there was going to be any sort of involvement of Harris with anything to do with any of this. I just thought he was some bureaucrat pencil pushing moron. It was just on Olivia's case because she had him prosecuted. And it turns out that was a complete Trojan that they threw us there for almost half the season to then throw in that he's involved. Who do you think he was talking to? Do you think he was talking to William Bell? I don't know. Possibly. So Walter's found the missing pages from the manuscript from Z.F.T at the end there, and then the Observer turns up as well. I'm not sure I can continue to try to work this show out until it just actually tells me, because when I think I'm just going down a line of thought that I think is right, it goes completely the other way. Harris said there, we've been trying to activate her, and it was Olivia who managed to do it because Walter mentioned it's sort of the same sort of thing where it can be turned inwards, which is what happened to her twin sister at the beginning, but it can also be pushed out to someone else. It depends on your anxiety level and your emotional state, so it's all to do with the emotions. So because she got all anxious and frightened there, she was able to push all of that onto Harris and send the dude up in flames, which was a deserving death because he deserved it, especially with his involvement. Guess we won't know how far involved he was. It may come out later, I don't know. That absolutely was looking like a standalone episode again for half of it, and then it just turned on its head and it turns out that it's totally involved. The parts I'm not understanding is why the Observer's here, what he wants Walter for when he says it's time to go. Go where? I'm not understanding that. And Olivia, throughout this episode, kept seeing the girl on her own dead, the body. And then she kept seeing her twin sister with her dead. But in the actual reality of where we are, there was only one of them. They only found out about the twin sister later, but they knew. So Harris and this other scientist guy knew she had a twin sister and they'd gone to do the same to her. So they were obviously both experimented on as twins when they were little, and then something has ended up separating them. But Olivia knew somehow, but she keeps seeing, I don't know whether it's deja vu, like Walter mentioned. She said it's not that, it's more real than that. Whether she's seeing the future or somewhere else or what, I haven't a clue yet, but it helped to solve that case. So many questions, so damn few answers, but I'm sure we'll get them. This season is starting to wrap up very nicely. I think we've only got another 2 or 3 episodes and we're at the season finale. I can't wait to see what they're going to throw at us in the last couple of episodes, because it's going to be an absolute flood of information and probably just going to give us another 1,000 questions for season 2 and set it up nicely. Right, guys, post your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this episode up to this point. Don't forget, it'll be available over on Patreon, full length version as normal. You can go and check the link in the description out for that. Also, don't forget to turn on your notifications and please hit that subscribe. I would very much appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back with episode 20 in the next few days. So until then, guys, take care.